Oracle, tarot, whatever, readings. Okay. Give me a second. So, look, so you have a wish, right? Or you had the wish. What is this about all these wishes that we've been talking about in our readings? So there's a wish that you have or had for a, is it a while or not? Well, you kept it with you for a while now, right? So it just feels like some kind of wish that makes you feel like you want to be at home. Now, this can be anything, right? This can be a home itself, or a relationship, or a job, or something spiritual, right? Or something psychological, right? Some state, something that will make you feel in a state of being at home, right? Either physically or not, or both. Now, that wish of yours, right? I know you believe somewhere in the back of your mind that it has not been heard, but it has been heard. Very loudly, though, right? It feels like, how would I describe it? You know the echo, right? If you haven't done it, I'm sure you can like YouTube it or Google it. And I mean, obviously it would be a video of someone calling into the well, right? Empty well, and the voice echoing. So that felt like I'm talking about the concept of wishing well. So it looks like your wish has echoed like quite widely and loudly and farther than you think. Now, what's happening right now is in a transformation, right? A metamorphosis, transformation state, right? From child to movement. So how, like, I'm sure some of you understood it, but like, I just like to clarify things. So for people who might not, we all perceive sentences and words in a different way. My words sometimes can be cryptic and a little too poetic. So let's put it in a simple way. What do we mean by metamorphosis or transformation from a child to, movement, sailing? So basically, it's like giving birth, right? So all this time, your wish, right, that you called into, right, was baking in a womb, right? So it's like a child that's been in the womb, right? And now it's going to go through a transformation state, which is like metamorphosis, which is your dream is going to come out of the womb into the life, right? Come out. The stuck position, give me a second. Okay, look. Presently, you feel stuck, and what's asked of you to stop fighting. Like, there's nothing you can do. It's like what we were talking about before this right now, right? A child is going to be born, right? It takes about what? A perfectly born child, it takes 9 months to bake, right? So your wish is being baked, right? And universe is just going to give birth to it, or God, or whatever you want to believe it, or your mind. You just go crazy with your interpretations. Have fun. So I'm just going to stick with universe. So universe is going to give birth to your dream right now, right? It's been like sort of baking it in its womb all this time. While it's in labor, universe is in labor, right? You're asked to stop fighting. You feel stuck right now. You're going to be unstuck when your dream, your child comes into the world. You've got to understand there's nothing you can do. If you speed up, right, a childbirth, it's going to be a 7-month baby, not going to sit in an incubator, or is going to have some problems, or if you push it too fast and try to bring the baby out too fast, it might not survive, or it might have health issues. So you want your wish to be complete, right? Perfection, the way you wished it and willed it to be. Now for that, you need to play this waiting game, right? And while you're in this waiting game, you need to stop fighting. Stop fighting this stuck situation that you're in. I feel like you're just stuck in some kind of mud, some kind of rut. You're feeling stuck, and you can't. You literally can't anymore. You feel like you're falling. You feel like you're drowning. You feel like you're being defragmented. Like, it's like this is you. Like, it's like this is you. You feel like you're being shattered like tiny pieces of the mirror. You can't do it anymore. You have no more strength to remain in this position. Look, it's like you're the elephant, right? Stuck in the mud. And there's a tiny bird sitting on you. And even the weight of that tiny bird, what is it to an elephant? But mind you, for you, where you are right now, it feels heavy. So even this little bird makes you go sink into that quicksand, into that mud deeper. So what I'm trying to say is that any emotional, psychological, or physical trigger that can be minuscule, like this small, puts a unbelievable amount of pressure on you right now. It almost feels like when people go to seek psychological help, right? Or you go to the doctor, a professional, and ask for help because you no longer are able to tolerate this much pressure and pain. So they put you on medication. This is where you're at right now. You cannot do it anymore. And it's almost like you can't pinpoint what it is because it feels like it's everything. Everything around you puts a pressure on you. And you constantly feel like you're drowning, you're falling. It feels like you're being gobbled up. You can't anymore. So why is it asked of you not to fight? It's because if you fight this structure, right? If you fight this structure of the phase, if you fight this phase, right? You're going to destroy the outcome. It's like childbirth, right? It's painful. And there's labor. There's 9 months of discomfort, all kinds of illness, sickness, nausea, It's just hell, right? But then the child comes, right? And then the joy of it, the beauty and the love and unconditional love that you feel. But there's a fair amount of suffering that comes before the birth, right? And during birth as well, obviously. This is what you're going through right now. So look at it this way. Maybe that'll help you live easier through this period that you're going through. Because it looks like it's very heavy on you, and I'm sorry for that. Look. Look at this. Look at this. I want to tell you something. You've been, for a very long time, living in the middle world, right? The middle. So there's like a higher world, a lower world, and a middle world. Like we're all angels, we're all sinners, we're all gods, and we can fly, and we have wings, and la-di-da-di-da, we can do everything. No, that is absolutely 100% possible. But then there's like a story of Icarus that flew up too fast and too high to the sun and got burned. And then there's the story of Narcissus, who looked down deep into the water and drowned into his reflection, right? So it's like reaching out to something that is too high or diving too deep into yourself. What you did was you walked the middle lane between that. So, right? You didn't go deep down, you didn't go too high, you were walking the middle. All this time, you were walking the middle. And it's quite a while that you've been doing this. You've gotten good at it, but you have to understand the only way you were able to maintain this balance of walking in the middle, right? Like middle world, was because you were feeding off of the source, right? The higher frequency, your higher self. Your food was actually coming from like where Icarus went up. So, but you didn't go up there. You didn't fly up and say, we're all divine and perfect and la-di-da-di-da, and I'm detached from people. No, like I'm working here, but I'm going to feed off of that. So that was your food the whole time, right? What that gave you was, right, remaining on earth while feeding off the spirit, right, of the high, of the source itself. You were feeding off the source, yet remaining in flesh and walking the earth, right? What that did to you was made it easier, sweeter, and fun to develop that backbone, right? So it almost like gave you the spine. So I bet who I'm talking to right now and who relates to this reading, you feel powerful and strong and confident, and not just throwing those words around, you feel it. So that strength that you have came easy and sweet. Those experiences that got you to become who you are right now was with help of feeding off of your higher self, the source, right? Mind, right? So you're like the tree, roots in the soil, branches up above, right? So it was like you were feeding with the mind. Your mind was feeding from the source, esoteric knowledge, mystical knowledge, spirituality, anything, whatever you want, philosophy, psychology, you name it. And yet remaining on earth. Give me a second. Look, you had a dream. You had a dream. And that dream felt magical, right? That dream that you had was magical, and you felt like maybe you dreamt about it, or maybe you would doze into your sleep and you could feel different realities and alternate realities, dimensions or timelines that you've been incarnated in, or that you could connect to a certain individual. Now, that dream was like your driving force. It was what kept you moving, right? It was like waters of your life, right? It was moving the waters inside of your body, right? It was the main driving force, right? Fuel, your fuel. It was magical. This experience in your mind was magical. And that dream and fantasy or desire or experience that we're talking about was of love, right? Of love, of coming together. It was like your unicorn dream, right? It was your driving force, right? So remember how I said that what kept you going was feeding off the source, right? With your mind, like fantasy and all those things that I mentioned, yet remaining with your feet grounded on soil, like knowing that, okay, well, I'm still in flesh. And, but what kept you moving forward, right? What kept you moving forward with the lessons, right? With remaining where you are balanced in the middle, and yet going forward was this dream of love, right? Maybe twin flame that you were dreaming about, or a special partner. But it feels like some of you might have felt or felt that you have already met this person. Could be not physically, could be physically, depends. So all of this, a dream, right? This dream came to standstill. So this love aspect of your spiritual movement came to standstill. Now, mind you, the wishing well that we're talking about, the desire that you have, right? That universe is actually going to go into labor right now, is baking that wish in its womb. That's not about this love. This is something else. But why are we talking about the love? Look, the winds of change, what they're telling you is the winds of change are upon you. Literally, you've mastered time. I know you don't believe it, but you have. You hold the keys and you hold the wisdom. And everything's about to change completely. You're going to have a baby.